legal fight against deportation from the UK. The decision about the man who was once described as Osama bin Laden's right-hand man in Europe has dealt a humiliating blow to the Home Secretary, who vowed to do everything she could to get him kicked out. Sky's Home Affairs correspondent Mark White reports.
This was the last time Abu Qatada was seen in public, back in April, when he was taken into custody after a short but highly controversial stint on bail. Now the radical cleric, who's been assessed by the government as a significant danger to the public, is being released again. It follows an immigration court decision to block his deportation to Jordan because evidence used to convict him there may have been obtained through torture.
We abhor the use of torture, and that a case that was predicated upon evidence from witnesses who've been tortured is rejected by the courts of this country as by the European Court.
It is a significant blow for the Home Secretary, who'd promised she'd soon have Abu Qatada on a plane out of the UK.
Qatada is a dangerous man, a suspected terrorist who is accused of serious crimes in his home country of Jordan. The British government has obtained from the Jordanian government assurances not just in relation to the treatment of Qatada himself, but about the quality of the legal processes that would be followed throughout his trial. We will therefore seek leave to appeal today's decision.
There's a lot at stake for Theresa May, who took personal charge of efforts to deport Qatada, including this trip to Jordan. And she decided not to take the case back to Europe, but instead go through the British courts.
She said, "I believe that the assurances and the information that we have gathered will mean that we can soon put Qatada on a plane and get him out of the country for good. Far from being put on a plane, he is soon going to be out on our streets. And if her appeal fails, he'll be a free man." It is clear now that all of her promises and assurances were overblown, and her strategy has fallen apart as a result of this decision.
A growing number of Theresa May's own party are calling for her to honour her earlier promise and stick Abu Qatada on a plane anyway.
The law is an ass on a number of occasions. Our Supreme Court has said this guy should be deported. Our Home Secretary wants him deported. The Prime Minister wants him deported. Let's just put him on a plane and get rid of him now.
Circumventing the judiciary to remove Qatada is not something the government is contemplating. Instead, it hopes to convince the appeal court the cleric would get a fair trial if deported to Jordan. The Immigration Appeal Court here has imposed some very strict bail conditions, including a 16-hour-a-day curfew. But that does mean if Abu Qatada so chooses, for 8 hours a day, he is free to leave his home and mingle with the public. And so, as he did back in February, Abu Qatada is once again preparing to leave the confines of Long Lartin Prison in Worcestershire for life in a London neighbourhood. Mark White, Sky News.